Hey guys, Adam Fenig here with Fenig Equipment. You're tuned into the Talking Shed. Hey, today I'm over here near Fredericktown, Ohio. There's a customer out here running his Salford in this tool, or in this field. You can kind of see where it ran behind me. I'll turn the camera around here in a little bit to show you the ground and what it really looks like. But it's a little colder here today in Ohio. It's 35 degrees. If you look really close, there's actually some snowflakes falling down right now. But wanted to bring you guys to the field, show you what this tool's doing. This is a 2100 Salford. So the 2100 series has got the larger coils on it, and it's got the 22-inch blades, but it's still on a 7.5-inch spacing. So what this customer does is, this was bean stubble, and what he's going to do is work this field once and then plant his corn right into it with his John Deere planter. I'm going to turn this around and we're going to talk about what this tool has done to the field, the 14-inch roller with the 3-bar harrow, and how level and mellow it looks after just one pass. If we walk right over here, you know, we talk a lot about the jackhammering effect of the Salford. Not only do we really love what the Salford does with residue management and breaking up the soil and creating a perfect seed bed, but if you dig underneath of that stuff, you can find the vertical fracturing. Look at that. On each side of where a blade runs, you're going to have shattering of the soil. If we were in this field before it was worked, it would be very hard. If I had a probe with me, there'd be some compaction in this field. Nothing has touched it yet this spring. But if a blade ran right here and the blade comes through, look at that. That right there is what you see on each side of the blade, is the shattering effect. Not only do you get it side to side, look at that, but you get it underneath as well. So what happens is whenever you plant the seed, that allows oxygen down below the soil, and it decreases compaction, and it shatters vertically to, number one, give roots a place to go, and number two, allow oxygen and water to infiltrate down through the soil. That is something that cannot be done with a gang machine, and is only done with a true vertical tillage tool like a Salford. Look at that. You reach under there, and just with very little pressure, this thing is extremely mellow. And he was only running that Salford tool you saw in the video. He was only running it probably 2 inches of depth, but the shattering and jackhammering effect of the Salford does a phenomenal job. Look at that. Phenomenal job of shattering. So not only do we really appreciate what the Salford does on the surface, but what it does below the surface is phenomenal as well. So you saw what I was doing when I was running my hand underneath the soil, how loose that soil was. And the reason is because as that blade continuously runs, the reason is because when that blade runs truly vertical and it's jackhammering continuously through the field, it is breaking up compaction below the blade and on each side of the blade. What that does is it injects oxygen below the soil while still only running at about 2 inches of depth. So you can get by with doing more fracturing deep and to the sides without having to actually run your tool that deep. When you run a gang machine on a high degree of angle in the spring, what it does is it drags blades sideways. You don't have the jackhammering effect on a gang, and that's where the Salford owns a huge advantage in the spring over those gang tools. Not only can it get out there whenever it's a little bit tacky, like maybe we are today, and it can still do a phenomenal job, but also it's going to leave a much smoother finish without having the smearing effect and the potential compaction by that big roll of gangs. As you saw in the video, if you're not familiar with the Salford, every blade is on its own spring and its own coil. The reason for that is the jackhammering effect that we talked about, and that is shattering the soil side to side and vertically to allow moisture and air to infiltrate the soil at a deeper depth than what you're running your tillage tool. So that's what we're doing today here in Fredericktown, Ohio. It's plenty cold to be planting, but things are in the works. So all we need is a little sunshine and things will be going on here in Ohio. Thanks for tuning in.